We got the dog, Jared Goff. I want to thank you for fucking coming in.
Thank you for having me.
This is a guy. This is the type of guys I align with because you're literally, you couldn't be more the man on paper. Seriously though, like you're in Hollywood. You grew up in California.
Yep.
I mean, to go on to be not only be the quarterback of the fucking the team in Hollywood, but you're transforming you're part of the huge transformation that's happened.
Thank you. Yeah. Trying.
And my point is you act the exact same. We haven't seen each other in person in a long time, just it's notorious that you haven't changed. I try to be the same way no matter what happens. So I appreciate you coming on.
I've been a stud fan since like 2012.
I want to dive right into this.
13?
I want to dive right into this, our initial meeting. And we might have to tailor what exactly the details are.
Yes.
But 2012, 2013?
It was summer of 2014.
Okay. So this is right when I'm starting to get popular in certain parts of the country.
Sure.
But we go to this show. I want to say that was the smallest show of the entire tour. You remember that show in Oakland?
Yeah, you were playing in Oakland. And I had been a fan of your music for probably a year or two at this point. Mm-hmm. And I just had finished my freshman year at Cal. We were no good. I was nobody. I mean, we were nothing. And me and my buddies were like, hey, he plays in Oakland. Like, we saw your tour. We saw where you're going. We're like, what's going to be the one we can make? Mm-hmm. Hey, he plays in Oakland. I think it was in July.
Yep.
Like, we're gonna go to that. And like, all right, cool. Like, me and my friends in Berkeley were like, we're going to go. So sure enough, comes around, we go. And there was, it was a small venue, and there was probably 60 people there.
I want to say if the football team didn't come, it could have been 20 people.
Sure, yeah. No, it was fun though, but it was small enough where it was still intimate and it was fun.
Dude, let me tell you.
Blue was drinking and
Blue was drinking.
And
Blue's still drinking.
It was it was fun. Yeah. And then when we finished up, the funny part about this is that my house that I was living in, I had a house with I think 4 football players and 5 rugby players in this house I lived in.
Sheesh.
And we were on probation.
Must have been a train wreck. Rugby guys are rugged motherfuckers.
They're nuts.
Too. Yeah.
They're nuts. And they were the majority of the problem, I would say. But we were on probation. Like, we get one more police call. Like, we're fucked. We're done. And that night, I remember you were like, hey, we need to find somewhere to go to the after party. And that was like what you guys were known for, was the after party, And I'm like, we're not doing it. We're not doing it. like my buddy's like, come on. I'm like, dude, we can't. Like, we're going to get kicked out of the house.
You're on probation for parties or for damage or whatever.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've already done
typical.
We've had like 2 police calls come in that we're on like one more, and it's like a $10,000 fine, and you're like kicked out, which would essentially, our landlord would have kicked us out.
Yeah.
So
you rolled the dice anyway.
We say, all right, screw it, we're doing it. Then you or one of you guys tweeted the address.
Oh, man.
And I was like, oh, my God. Like, we
are
screwed.
The good part is there was only 60 people there.
Sure, yeah. So it wasn't crazy.
So it wasn't a crazy
You didn't draw a crazy amount of crowd. But at the time, I was like, oh, my God. Like,
did a bunch of random people end up coming?
Yeah, there was probably 100 people there.
Oh, sheesh.
Yeah, but it was fine. But I remember
That's a blur.
The police were driving by, and I was friends with some of them. And I went out to one of them. I said, hey, there's going to be a lot of people here tonight. Please, please call me. Here's my phone number. Like, they knew who I was. I'm like, please call me if something happens. Anyways, you guys come over. It was a fun night. Nothing ended up happening. There wasn't that many people. We weren't that loud, but it was fun.
And I want to say I dragged you guys in beer pong that night.
You did. You dragged us in beer pong.
I did.
It was me and a buddy, and you and maybe John or Blue.
It happens. It happens all over the country. This is what we did.
You did get us.
John Kilmer ended up having sex with a very. I'm not even gonna single out exactly what it was. And this was in the past for John's girlfriend listening. This was very much so in the past.
7 years ago.
Yeah, so you're fine. You're in the clear. 5 years ago. John's panicking in the corner over there. But he had sex with some girl.
I don't know what he did with her, actually. I was not in the room.
We'll leave it off the record.
Yeah, I was not in the room.
But it was in one of your buddies' room, or
it was in my room. It was in my room on the floor. Whatever he was doing with it, I don't know what he was doing.
Star quarterback.
I will speak to. I don't know what he was doing, but he was in my bedroom on the floor with the door locked.
At least you were on the floor.
I was like,
that's respectable.
I was like, who is in my bedroom right now? Anyways, I'm banging on the door. Finally, he pops out, and I'm like, oh, like, okay, you're good. And again, I can't speak to anything you were doing. I don't know. You guys were hanging out in there, just being friendly.
You guys catch a nap in there? What happened? Something light?
twister.
Without the twister board, exactly. But yo, so that was. Have we been in each other's presence since then? I don't think so. We just stayed
Had
in
to have
touch.
once, at least once.
Maybe
I think
once.
we've crossed paths at least once or twice. Yeah,
But we stayed in touch.
Absolutely, yep.
And all right, so I'm not a guy that like goes to games that much. Even I'm like a baseball guy.
Yep.
I go to a fucking baseball game. I mean, I'm out of there by the 4th, 5th inning. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not huge into it. The fucking tickets you get us for the fucking Rams games is the flyest shit ever. I want to tell you a story.
You guys.
I didn't tell you this. So I went to the game where you like went absolutely ballistic against Mahomes.
Yeah.
Or you guys both went crazy.
Monday night, yep.
It was the craziest fucking game I've ever seen.
Yep.
I had just landed from something. I think we were on tour. I hit you last. You get it. It's the most celebrity-packed shit I've ever seen. So I'm hammering brewskis on the side. Like, to put it in perspective for people, like, I don't think there's a better way to take a game in than
in LA.
than those.
There's not.
Are there things like that in other stadiums?
There are like field suites, but like the combination of the type of people you get there in LA, and then like just being in the Coliseum, that was like a really nice night. It was warm out. Like the food down there, I'm sure is amazing. The drinks, like everything. We scored a bunch of big touchdowns in that end zone. Like,
dog,
right
I couldn't believe it. Every time I fucking if you turned your head, someone was fucking throwing.
It was 54-51, I think.
Yeah, and you threw for like what?
Like
450 yards or
yeah.
something.
Yeah,
some light, some casual.
Yeah,
but like it's the most. I mean, I like I said, I haven't been to tons of places to watch games, but like I've never been. It's just the most engaging way to watch a football game ever. So
you caught a good one.
Huge shout out to you. But listen, I go to my favorite part about it is the convenience. I'm a convenience guy.
Yep.
The bathroom's right there, food, beers, bar. You don't have to fucking go anywhere.
Yep.
I go to the porta potty. There's like a little, you step back and there's like a little line of porta potties for the suite, people in the suites, but it's all the suites. So I go into the porta potty, swing the door back open. I'm staring from me to you at Jay-Z. Just him, no security.
Really?
No one else around. I'm like, I froze. I was just like, "What's up, man?" And it was just like,
that's amazing.
I fucking love Jay-Z.
Yeah, of
like,
course.
As a person, especially. Yeah. I think Beyonce was there too, but she was in the female section or whatever. But it was one of those fucking games, bro. Like Kevin Hart, Floyd Mayweather, everybody. It was probably one of the most. And that's when I was like, man, Jared
Post was there. Post, YG, all those guys.
Yeah. And it was one of those things where it's just like, I mean, going home, I remember I texted you, I was like, rock star shit, but like, you don't even fucking realize, like, because you're just you know what I mean? But all the, like, it's at the pinnacle of everything, not just sports, culture, everything right there. You're the guy.
That was
fucking
fun.
Nuts.
It was fun. It was
so I want to dive in a little bit. A lot of this is like we talked about out there. We'll chop it up a bunch, but I want to get into more like, I want to get more into why you think you're here and what makes you you. You know, it's. We'll dive into your story exactly, but I'm more interested in like the mentality that it takes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think my fans especially are interested in that.
Sure.
Both from my like, you know, I realized that they were almost more interested in my mentality. And if you follow me on Instagram,
course,
I'm always trying to share.
You're a great follow on Instagram.
Yeah, thank you. You too, sir. I know you guys got to be a little skittish on it. Like
a little more PC for for our side. Yeah,
exactly. But I want to kind of get into that because it's like I said, you've kept an extremely even keel to the point where it's like borderline weird.
Sure, no, I get that.
It's so goddamn even keel.
Yep.
And it's an amazing. It's the way to be. It's what makes you special, you know. Yep. But just dive into. I mean, just give us a little nutshell of like where. I mean, I know you're from Golden, but most of these people are gonna know this. You're from California.
Yep.
Just kind of walk us through. Give us a little nutshell of growing up and how you landed here. We'll chop it up along the way, but I think this is a good place to start.
Well, I grew up in the Bay Area.
Mm-hmm.
My dad played professional baseball. So,
what position?
Catcher.
Me and him would have a lot of good vibes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Pitcher catcher dynamics.
That's right. No, yeah.
Special one.
He caught in the bigs. He caught in the bigs. He was up and down from AAA to the bigs for about 9 years.
Yeah.
So right there.
He spent a majority of his time where
He was with the Expos, the Mariners, the Pirates, and the Astros.
So a bit of a journeyman.
Absolutely. Yep.
And that's a fucking grind.
Hell yeah. I mean, AAA. I mean, you
It's
know it.
grind.
It's like single A, double A, triple A. It's a grind, and that's a different mentality that like I like to pride myself in my mentality. I don't know if I could do that.
Yeah.
Just the type of grind, like get on the bus 4 hours, go sleep in a
Not
hotel,
not getting
paid.
too fancy
You don't know if you're
either.
gonna make it. You get cut. They bring in some other guy, and it's just like you're not. I mean, it's nuts. But my dad being a professional athlete kind of helped me grow up. I played baseball, basketball, football growing up, all three.
So were you a baller at all of them?
I was best at baseball and football, and I was just
Pitcher?
No, I played short. I was just very.
He's an athlete.
I almost played in college. I thought about it. I didn't want to like.
At Cal?
Yeah, and I really probably wasn't good enough, but I could have maybe done some things for their team, just helped a little bit. But basketball, I was okay. I mean, I was a 4 and played good defense.
Yeah.
Scored a little bit, but I wasn't any good.
Yeah.
But that type of, I guess, growing up playing all 3 sports, and him and my mom like kind of instilling that like have fun mentality. Like don't stress about it. If you do great,
fucking way to be.
If you do great, yeah. If you do great. If you don't, do anything else. Like I feel like guys, I mean, you did it in college, and guys that have done it at a high level understand that like it's not the end all be all. Like fans think it is, and fans see it as that, but it's not like. That's not, who you are. It's just what you do. It's not life. Exactly. It's a piece of it. And so that's what I think he was able to instill in me early. So then I was able to play freely and play fun and have fun and be myself. And I throw a pick. Oh, well, I've got this already kind of in the back of my mind that like, whatever. So I think that's kind of a big part of where it stems from. And then just kind of who I am, my demeanor, kind of never getting too high, never getting too low, never getting too excited if something goes good, never getting too upset if something goes bad. And
yeah, I mean, you're notorious for it at this point.
Yeah, where it is kind of weird, and I understand how it can be weird. Like,
I don't even mean it in a negative way. It's
it's
really a fucking.
It is though. Like I'm like kind of, I get surprised sometimes too, where it's like, dude, like why aren't you freaking out a little bit?
So does this? I want to dive right into this because I had this talk, I think it was with my sister a few years ago, that like kind of rattled me. I was just like, I realized that like, I wasn't like digesting what was happening and like having these powerful emotional reactions to shit that should.
Absolutely.
And I like I was like, is something fucking wrong with, like, I'm a lot more emotional than you are, but just like, we were talking about it, and I just, had my first song. I think it was like when my first song got my first plaque, or I just did this tour, whatever we were talking about. And I just kind of was like,
you're like, this should mean more.
Why doesn't this fucking move me
as
much as it should move me?
Yeah.
And it took me a while. I mean, I've gone through, you probably see on the internet, like I've gone through a phase of like kind of diving back into like the mentality of myself and grounding myself in the perspective that I need to like appreciate things more so, even if it becomes normal, So for you, I want to ask you, like, do you have those same thoughts?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Where like, I like perfect example is NFC Championship game this year. Like we're in New Orleans. It's the loudest place you've ever been in your life. Like you can't be in a louder place in the world. And the first series of the game, I'm wearing my backup quarterback, Sean Mannion's helmet. My helmet stopped working right before the first play of the game.
Weird.
Like just stopped. Just wouldn't work. Weird. Go out there with his helmet, run out there, third play of the game, throw a pick. And like, honest to God, couldn't have cared less. Like, couldn't have cared less. And I was like, it's kind of weird that I don't care about this. but I don't. Like, and that's like,
it's part of what makes you great.
Yeah, it's just part of like my mentality of like, I like, especially in that game where it's like so big and such a big, meaningful and changes lives. Like the first thing I thought of was get this helmet off of me. That's not mine.
Give me my fucking helmet.
And give me my helmet. But I couldn't have like, to this day, like I think back at that and like, it didn't even like trigger to me. Like it was just, and that's again, part of like being in the quarterback position, I think, and this is just my philosophy, and other guys do it in different ways with different types of energy and different types of emotions, but in my best way, the way I perform best is staying there.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect example, guy I'm friends with is Baker, where he gets high and he does his thing, and that's his edge, and that's how he does it, and it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's the opposite.
We just had us tonight with Baker. He's the man.
Oh, he's awesome. I love Baker.
Fucking man.
He's awesome, and that's his way of doing it. And Tom has his way of doing it, and everyone has their different way of doing it. And whatever works for you is what you should do.
Now,
and for me, it's that.
Does it cross? So fuck football. What about life?
No, and nowhere else. Like golf, I'm a head case. I'm an absolute mess, and even in baseball, I was a mess.
Yeah.
Like, for whatever reason, I'm able to respond really quickly. And this thing in high school that I learned, it was the Elite 11 the Elite 11 camp in high school.
Mm-hmm.
This one phrase they taught me, I've talked about it before. It's called PACE, which means performance after critical error. And it's like how you're truly judged. How good are you?
That's applicable to fucking life on the broadest scale.
Yeah. How are you judged after your biggest failure? How are you judged after that? And that is like the biggest piece of, I believe, the quarterback position and life. So to me, it's like if I do poorly, or if I throw a pick, if I throw 2 picks, if I throw 3 picks, if I throw 4 picks, which I've done. I mean, I've thrown 5. Like, how bad can it truly get and I can still be good? And that's where you're really judged, I think. Like, how bad can you really be in that hole and be? I threw 4 picks in the first half against Utah my junior year, national television. How bad can it be, and you can still come back and play well? And that's what I try to pride myself in.
And it feels like it.
Yeah.
And it feels like it. So if you break that down to your career,
sure,
right?
yeah,
so
absolutely.
I dove in a little bit more on just the actual ins and outs of like your career, your little path that you've been on. So you go to Cal.
Yep.
You have a horseshit year.
1-11. Yeah. And then I met you, and then I'll turn around.
I was about to say, I think I'm the missing piece.
Yeah.
But and that's not a good program when you get there. I mean, they're obviously
we just hired a new coach, so I was the first year of the new head coach.
And were they highly regarded, or kind of in the middle of it?
Middle.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was at Duke.
Yeah, middle.
Middle, like, weren't necessarily top 25 in the ballpark.
Yeah, we had Keenan Allen the year before I got there. Guys like Javed Best were there before. I mean, Marshawn Lynch, obviously. Yeah. They were all there before I got there, but right in the middle.
So going back to the pace thing, I mean, you can't. That's 1-11, right?
Absolutely.
And then you come back the next year,
5-7.
5-7.
Yep.
The junior year.
My junior year,
we were
5-7. Could have been 7-5.
Junior year.
Junior year, we went nuts, and like offensively, we played well. We were 8-5. Finished with a bowl game victory against Air Force, and our numbers offensively were like record breaking.
Yeah,
but we weren't, there yet. Right. But still played better. Turned the program around.
Right.
In 3 years, which was good.
Right, and then you were out.
And then I was out.
So you went fucking bonkers that junior year.
We did. I did. Sure.
So then, let's fast forward to what happens. Let's not jump past. So this happens, right? You have that year.
Sure.
This is where, at what point are you like, okay, I'm obviously your lifelong dream.
That's a good
You're fucking staring at it in the face.
Well, I was so naive, dude. I came into my junior year and I'm like, there's no way I'm leaving. Into my junior year. Like,
you go from that to the first round pick.
Right.
First overall pick.
Yeah. I'm like, there's no way I'm leaving. I want to graduate from this good school. Like, I don't feel like I'm at where I need to be yet. There's no way I'm leaving. Like, halfway through the year, I remember I was in my living room with my dad, and all this hype starting to build. And he's like, so what do you think? And I'm like, I'm out. Like, this is it. And that's how it was, like, that quick. Like, it was just one conversation. I'm like, I think I'm done. Like, this is going to be it.
So did you give a fuck what I mean, obviously you care. But
he was totally on the same page as me. Yeah, it wasn't really much of a decision. Honestly, my coaches were like, dude, you can't come back.
Yeah.
Like, you're done.
Especially, I mean, become the fucking first. Like, that's.
Yeah. No, it worked out.
Especially in a sport like football, bro.
Exactly. There's so much risk.
I know you're, as much as quarterbacks aren't getting hit as much, like.
No, we get hit.
You get, I mean, I'm talking
these young guys
every single play type shit, but like, dude. You couldn't be more in the trenches. Absolutely. Like you're literally like the biggest, strongest motherfuckers in the world are coming and trying to fucking annihilate you.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, that takes in a certain psyche even to be able to sit and actually calculate. I think, honestly, we had this conversation in the house. I think fucking quarterback's the hardest position in all sports.
Yeah, you can make
I don't know how the fuck you guys are quantifying what the fuck's happening while you're trying not to get killed.
Sure. No, and I think to speak to that point, like I've been doing it for so long to where it's like natural. It's like I couldn't get on stage and perform in front of 10,000 people.
Yeah.
And to you, that's like, let's do it. Like
it's
easy.
all perspective.
It's so easy, but I couldn't do that. But you get used to it. As much crazy as that sounds, when you get hit by 300 pounders enough, you get used to it.
Is there a secret to like falling properly to not fuck? I can barely get out of bed sometimes. I'm just drinking and playing beer pong and making songs.
I think it's best.
Fucking bitches here as much as I possibly can here and there, you know.
The house is sweet, by the way. Everyone that doesn't see the house is sweet.
Yeah. Hey, a lot of hard work, baby.
Yeah, I love it. I think like for me, the way I think about it is if I'm like limp, that's better than being tense.
Limp noodle.
Yeah. Like
I got
be flexible. Be flexible.
Exactly. Do you want to be the tall oak tree in the windstorm that gets blown over because it's trying to be rigid?
No.
Or do you want to be the fucking palm tree that's
right. Yep.
swaying, that's going to last for years?
That's me.
There you go. Exactly. Yep. Okay, so you have that conversation with your dad.
Yep.
You realize
and it was like literally 30 seconds. It was like, yeah, we're doing it.
In and out.
Yeah.
Agents start approaching you.
Yep.
And I mean, dude, as it comes down to the draft, you have a pretty good understanding of where you're at least going in the first round. You knew.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, at what point does it become surreal for you?
Well, when the Rams traded up, so they were at 15. They traded up to 1.
And you knew the Rams.
I knew they liked me.
That was the target.
They liked me, and we had conversations. They just moved to LA. It was first year in LA. And me and my agents had conversations about like that'd be an awesome place to land. Like in LA, it's they're brand new to LA. They need somebody there, and like it would have just been a good place to land. But it was such a pipe dream. They're at 15. I had a pretty good feeling it wasn't gonna last until 15. The day they trade up to 1, I'm like, oh man, this could be it. Like you still don't know. Like you don't know if they like me.
The day they traded up, it wasn't on draft day. Is that I don't know how it works.
So yeah, so they traded up actually probably 3 weeks before the draft. Yeah.
So you had a nice little warm up, like you knew.
I did.
Like you had
it was actually it was. I'll get into the draft night, but it was pros and cons.
Mm-hmm.
But when they traded up, I knew they liked me. I knew it was a good fit. My agent knew it was a good fit.
Mm-hmm.
It was me and Carson Wentz that were the 2 top ones. So it was going to be me or him going there. We have the same agent. So
interesting.
So we kind of had a little bit of more information than you would otherwise.
Yeah.
Had a good feeling. Still don't know. I mean, anything can happen. We're 3 weeks out.
Right.
Took my visit. I was actually at the Giants game, baseball game. The night my agent called me, he said, "Hey, the Rams want to have you in for a visit tomorrow." Like they just traded up like a day before.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm supposed to throw out the first pitch of the Giants game. Like I'm a lifelong Giants fan.
I got it. So what happened?
At first, I was like, "Can they like change it? Like, can we do like, can we do like a different? Can they do like 2 days from now?" And he's like, "No, dude. Like you got to go tomorrow." And I'm like, "Fuck, all right, like let's do it." So, anyways, I'm obviously glad I did, but went down there, met with them all day, and just through the day. Some of the stuff they allude to, you kind of get the feeling like, okay, like they can't say it straight up because anything can happen in the next 3 weeks. Right. Someone could offer them anything for that number 1 pick, but they kind of allude to it and had dinner with the owner, with Mr. Kroenke, and it was a good time. And that's when you kind of had a good feeling about it. That was
when you go to that dinner with the owner, are you drinking some whiskey?
I was not. No, water.
Just keeping it fucking clean.
Water, clean.
Yeah, love it.
Water, steak.
Don't fuck around.
Nope, just. Talk to him, be a good
Probably
guy.
Probably a really good steak.
Oh, really good. We were at Mastro's, Beverly Hills.
There we go.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Get much better than that.
It was amazing. But yeah, it was good, and that's when I kind of knew, like, all right, like, this is probably gonna end up happening.
So are you freaking the fuck? Like, what the fuck's your vibe?
When I found out, actually, the way I found out about the trade was actually a good story too. I was in Philadelphia on my visit with the Eagles, and it was midnight in Philly.
It sounds like a song.
Yeah, it was midnight in Philly.
It was midnight in Philly.
No, it would have been 3 a.m. in Philly. It was midnight out here.
Okay.
And I had just flown in. I was like a little jet lagged because I've been flying all over the place. I'm doing all these visits. You do all these visits leading up to the draft, and I'm in Philly.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I was just I did New Orleans, I did the Jets, and then I did Philly all within like 3 days.
And that's only shit that happens for like the top dogs.
Yeah, it's called like top 50 meetings or something like that. This is after the combine. This is like 3 weeks out.
Right.
And you meet with the coaches, you go through the whole thing, they interview you, they try to get to know you, they test you, they kind of try to trick fuck you a little bit and some things, but they were all good.
Can you give us an example?
Yeah. I was with a team. And do you know what Lumosity is?
Mm-mm.
It's like the online brain games.
Oh, okay.
Like you like sitting at a computer and it's like you see something, you have to click it really quick, and it's like these different type of like.
So they put you
See
there.
how quick, oh yeah, and they put all the quarterbacks through this with the team I was with, and so what he did, he had me do it like one dry run, like one practice run, then he had me do one more practice run. He's like, all right, here's your last one, and I start doing it. He just starts fucking screaming at me, like in my ear, like just saying like football stuff, like get rid of the ball, like screaming, like top of his lungs. And I'm like doing this, and I'm still doing it. I'm like, oh my God, what the fuck's going on?
Who's yelling at you?
One of the coaches.
One of the coaches.
Yes. Okay. And went through that, and I scored well, but it's like, all right, like that's just kind of.
I mean, it makes sense.
It's just a weird thing he wanted to do with all his quarterbacks, and he did that.
And you did well.
I think I did well. Yeah. At the combine, there was a question they asked. I'll ask you this. You testing you at the combine here.
Give me. Let's go.
If you're in, like, think about where you would go if you're gonna go snowboarding. There's any mountain, sure, mountain. You're on a bus in Aspen, and the bus is going down the hill. You're on like it's like a 2-lane road, and the bus loses its brakes. Where do you want to be sitting?
Can I ask a question, or I just have to get an answer? Does the bus have a back exit door?
Yeah, it's a bus. It's a school bus.
The front. I don't know why though.
The answer they want to hear from the quarterbacks is
the front
or the driver.
Yeah,
that's what the first thing that came to my mind is the fucking back. Because if it hits something, I'm gonna be safe.
That's literally what I was gonna say. But I know what I guessed what they wanted for a quarterback.
That's what I did too, and I said the front or driving. But the first thing you think is, well, the back's gonna be the safest place.
Dive right out the back.
The back's gonna be the safest place. But you obviously know what they want to hear,
right?
And that's an example. But
yeah,
going back to what I was saying with Philly, I'm in Philly. It's 3 a.m. I get a text from somebody I know saying, "Hey, the Rams just traded up to 1. They're taking you. They're not announcing it tonight. It was the night. It's okay. It was the night of Kobe's last game with the Lakers. That same night, if you remember that.
Went for
he went for like 60.
61.
So that was the big LA storyline. So like, hey, we're not going to release this tonight. Tomorrow morning you'll hear it. Mm-hmm. All right, cool. So I can't sleep after this. So it's like 3 a.m. I have my visit with the Eagles at 7.
You're just like in your room, like punching in the mirror.
Yeah.
Got this.
I'm going in to meet with the Eagles at 7. I know this is coming. No one else knows this is coming. I've just been told in the middle of the night it was coming. Yeah. At about 10 o'clock, I'm meeting with like a psychologist. They're like texting me on other stuff, and my phone just starts like, and I'm like, okay, it just dropped. Like that's how I knew. But then from there.
So what was the news though? It was just that they traded up.
Trade up to 1.
They
needed a quarterback. They're going to draft a quarterback. It was either me or Carson. Mm-hmm. As time went on, we figured it was me. Mm-hmm. The Eagles then traded up to 2, took Carson.
Crazy.
And
that fucking worked out too. You guys are actually official. It worked.
Yep.
So, mind state wise, right? Those 3 weeks when you know, mm-hmm. Are you just on cloud 9? Are you anxious?
It's anxious because you don't really you're like, there's no way, like this is real. Like it's kind of all like happening all so fast. Like I said, I went from I'm not leaving college to you're the first pick in like 8 months, maybe like 6 months.
Crazy.
And it all happened like so fast. So then you start settling into it. And then once the draft was in Chicago, get out Chicago, had a lot of my friends with me, a lot of family, and we kind of know what's going to happen. Like you're still expecting it to happen.
Right.
The morning of, got some texts from the Rams with the staff that was there saying like, hey, we'll see you tomorrow, like stuff like that. So that's when you really know, like, all right, like I can relax now.
So it takes a little of that edge off.
Absolutely, yeah. So you're kind of relaxed. You go through this big long day of the draft day. It's big, doing media,
I always wondered that because I see the clips of the guys.
Yes.
Like, so you see clips of guys like stressing it out. They clearly aren't informed and they're rattled and like they don't really know. They're not informed of what's happening
in like the green room
with their status as far as
Absolutely.
Like, right. But I remember I saw yours and I see like how many people in that first round know? Probably just you, maybe
me and Carson.
That's it
in our round for sure. Yeah, that's really it.
Crazy.
Totally. And that's
What
what
a
I
benefit.
said.
You could swag it out on TV, but
Absolutely.
like
That's
calm,
like
cool, and collected.
absolutely. And you can, that's like the pro of it. The
Yeah.
con is like, honestly, I know this is going to sound like weird, but you have this long day of getting to the draft, like doing media and interviews and all this stuff and doing tweets and Instagram posts. And it's a long day. I finally got to the draft, got to sit down, and I'm like, fuck, I got to leave in like 20 minutes. Like as soon as I draft you, you're out, you're doing media again. You're right in the back, you're doing media again. I know what's going to happen. Carson knows what's going to happen. I'm like, I'm only going to get to sit here with my family now for another 20 minutes, and then I got to start up again.
Right.
But yeah, it's
champagne
obviously
problems, baby.
obviously a blessing. I'm not complaining about it. It's
Yeah,
totally
not at all.
fine. But that's kind of like the pros and cons.
Right. So fast forward, you go kind of a lot of alignment to your Cal career
Absolutely. Yeah.
and that pace thing that you talk about.
Sure.
You go in and have I heard we were talking about it out there, but we should dive into it. So not only did you have this whole new experience and all this pressure, everything, right? There's a new coach, Jeff Fisher.
No, Jeff was the current coach.
Already the coach. Okay. New city at least, right?
Yep.
Were you the first? You guys were the first team in
First
Los
draft in LA. First draft picks, yeah.
So you have all that, and then we were just talking about it. You're thrown into this fucking Hard Knock shit.
Yep.
Which, we were talking about my TV show and we were comparing it. Let's get into it a little bit. But I can't, like, for us, we were doing our show on tour. And I remember thinking, like, I regret signing up for this. You know what I mean? We signed up for it. We did it,
How long into it did that take?
So I told you, we haven't really talked about this publicly. So we actually shot our initial pilot geared towards MTV VH1. I was single, very ready to mingle. And it was fucking, we shot a pilot over a span of probably a few weeks of tour. I mean, we didn't hold back one motherfucking thing. To the point where it would have been groundbreaking reality TV. It really would have. I'm not even non-biasedly like it. I don't think anyone was letting it fly like we were. It was just so candidly transparent and like racy and fucking sexual and like to the point where like we sat down and we just like we loved it because we're all fucking animals.
Sure.
But then we're just like everything we've built up to now, and I've done this independent thing. It's been a rare journey for us, but to sign it over and go to the network and do something like this where like I've kept my creative control the whole way through my career, musically especially, and to make that switch, I started getting like fucking really cold feet about it. I remember a conversation with us just like this is not going to be something we're going to want to look at in 5 years.
Sure. Yeah.
Just not,
Yeah.
And that was 3 years ago, I think, or maybe 3.5. And I'm already wouldn't want to look at it if we did that version of the show.
Sure.
Right. So we end up kind of backing out. But we had enough shit, like other shit. Did you actually see
I watched
our
it,
show?
yeah, I watched it.
So that tone, it's obvious, like I'm pretty multifaceted and like we have we're very rah-rah party shit, but then I'm also have a motivational, just real relatable side.
Yep.
And we had enough to make another kind of pilot from that angle. And we ended up getting talks with Esquire, which was a network that was failing. Or not failing, but just like a sister network to E, and had pretty much knew it would be like maybe 1 or 2 years before they folded. But they allowed us to have as much creative control as we possibly could. Like there was some scenes we were editing in our fucking house, that were ended up on TV, which was cool. So and ended up being a product I can live with now. And the job was done in the sense I didn't want to be famous for being a reality TV star.
It's not sustainable.
Running
It
around
might be nowadays, but
it kind of is, but it's just not who I wanted.
Sure,
and I knew some of the Jersey Shore guys. Like we were on similar club runs and shit. And I just no shade at them at all. It would have been that like on steroids, and it wouldn't have been. I don't think it would have been serving for like my bigger purpose. I just kind of knew, Let's go back to you. We signed up for that. Steve's our fucking dog opens doors. Have you seen it yet?
No.
I got to show you guys. So like, it's been 2 years since we let him
Steve's
out.
well fed,
little husky.
Yeah.
But it's really, I took him to the vet because a lot of people chirp him for being fat. I feel bad for my guy. So I took him to the vet about it, and it's kind of his build. They said his body fat.
He's just
they
big
said
boned.
he's healthy as fuck. It's
good.
So the Australian Shepherd's just a little on the shorter, chunky side.
I love it.
Good. There's no Steve slander on this fucking podcast, right, guys?
Good.
I love you, Steve. But we signed up for that.
Yeah.
So I was able. Tour is a very mentally challenging place as much as the best.
Mm-hmm.
But in that deep down as a man, you're like, I fucking did this. Like so we're gonna do this and we're gonna execute it. We did. But all that being said, we fucking hated the experience overall. You're hungover as balls. Roll out of the fucking bunk on the bus. They're micing you up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't want to be on fucking TV, right? Like,
no.
So you get thrown into that on top of all the shit.
Bro, I'm coming off the plane after draft night.
So right into it.
Draft night was.
Were you aware?
Bananas. First of all, you get drafted and then go out with your friends.
You gotta walk us through draft night. As much
he was there
as much as you can.
Robbie. Robbie was there.
Of course.
Draft.
How was it? Special? It was a special one.
Draft night. So you get drafted. You do all the media. I did like 3 hours of media.
Mm-hmm.
Thrown on Jimmy Kimmel, by the way, like without being told. Like they're like, all right, here's a camera, here's a mic. All right, you're live on Jimmy Kimmel. I'm like, wait, what?
Wow.
So Jimmy Kimmel.
Right,
like,
from the draft.
10 minutes off the stage. Like immediately. Do like 3 hours of media. I get to dinner. Our agents had scheduled a dinner for my family and my friends. This restaurant. No idea what it was called. I mean, like, no idea. Whole thing's a blur. I get there at probably 11:30, dinner, right? Draft was at 5. Get there at 11:30.
Drained.
Trying to eat, trying to, drink water, whatever. Directly upstairs of this restaurant was the club, like above us, like
in LA.
No, in Chicago.
Okay.
On top, in the second floor.
Chicago's fly.
It was fun. Oh, it was great. I'd only been to Chicago then. I've never been back. We go up there. We have a great time. We rip it up till whatever in the morning. I slept an hour. I wake up 6 a.m. I woke up. I went to bed at 4 or 5 and woke up at 5 or 6.
Get on a plane.
Get in a car. Go to an airport. Get on a plane.
Private? Not yet. This makes it all worse. These are.
It was first class.
Yeah.
I was sitting next to my mom, so I was taken care of.
You had the comfort.
Yes. She was asleep the whole time, so there wasn't much I could do but sit there by myself and try to close my eyes.
Right.
Try to get some sleep. I'm wearing the clothes I wore the day before. Like I'm somewhat a wreck at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, it's I didn't sleep, and it's like the longest week of your life.
That's literally, how I was saying on the bus.
Yeah.
That was us every day.
So I
had no idea where I was. I'm like, fuck.
So I get off the plane. I go off, and they actually let us walk off like onto the tarmac. They had cars there to pick us up, and they're like TV camera like on the bottom of the stairs.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, oh man, like rubbing my eyes, like waking up, like all right.
That's terrible.
They're like, here's a mic, blah blah. I get in a car, I get in an SUV. And there is 8 GoPros in this SUV. I'm like, all right. I get to this is the next morning. So this is morning after in LA now.
Mm-hmm.
I get to the hotel. They take me to the hotel. Get there and I'm like, all right, now I get some time to kind of breathe and relax and gather myself here. And they're like, all right, put your suit on, 30 minutes. We have your press conference. I'm like, what? So I go to my room, I take a shower, I eat some whatever hotel food they have in there, or drink some water. I'm totally fine at this point. I'm just tired. Like I'm just exhausted.
Right.
Get to the press conference, meet all the coaches, do the press conference, hang out for a little bit. It's all a blur. It's all going so fast. Like I'm just trying to keep up with it. That night, finally get to go to dinner with my parents, my family, and that's when it kind of was like, oh, all right, like we're here, we made it, like good job, and everything kind of settled down. Mm-hmm. But it was the same experience. Yeah. Like it was like, I really don't want to be on camera right now.
Yeah. So was that ever a conversation at all? Were you aware of like
cameras off the plane?
All right, so obviously Hard Knocks did their deal with the Rams. In order, it was a done deal that they were ready.
Yes.
This was them.
Yep.
So did you know going into it that like you were going to be on Hard Knocks
Correct.
if the Rams took you? You knew that. You were aware.
Correct.
You just didn't know that it was going to be fucking.
And I didn't really know much about Hard Knocks.
Because you guys were an earlier season.
I just had never really watched it.
Right.
Like I had never really dove into it. I watched episodes
There might
here
have
or
been
there.
a few
It was
seasons.
the Houston Texans season was the year, right? The only season I ever saw parts of. So I didn't really know much about it. I just knew it was like, okay, they're going to film us at training camp. Great. I didn't know they were going to be building storylines and building characters and doing different things. And I don't want to hate on Hard Knocks because I've had this conversation so many times with people with the Rams and people with NFL films, and the people with NFL films and Hard Knocks were incredible.
Trust me,
they did a great job.
Yeah,
the camera crew, the director, the producer were incredible people. The process of Hard Knocks and like the just way that they had to do things per the network, it's not fun. Not especially as a rookie quarterback trying to figure everything out. It's just not fun.
You really got thrown into the fucking fire.
Yeah.
And honestly,
in some ways,
you did. And it honestly probably had a lot to do with just like gearing you up for the next phase of like, you're obviously already an even keel guy, already a guy who can deal with turmoil, given what got you here. But that's like at a whole other level.
No, it was intense. And it was like, I had no idea what to expect. That training camp, I'm doing my best to learn the playbook, let alone be worried about not knowing where the sun rises in like an offhand conversation that I had that was so quick. You guys all like, you say something stupid like maybe once or twice a day, like, and you just like don't like.
It's human.
But they have cameras everywhere and they catch it. You know, it was like an offhand like comment I said to somebody, and then they spun it into this whole story. And it's like,
so were you like butthurt about it?
No, because
I like fuck these guys.
I'm like, I thought it was like kind of funny, and like I was bummed that they like actually made it a thing, that like it became like a thing.
I didn't really see it. I just know
they just like framed it as like me being dumb, which is like whatever. But
and which honestly,
I thought it was funny.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what it meant. But it's also, you got your football people, the football guys, like quarterback can't be dumb. This is bad.
100%. And then you get that, and it's like, oh, he doesn't know where the sun rises. How he's gonna learn the plays?
Read the fucking
how's he gonna know defense? How's he gonna know how to do this? And that was like, again, it's Joe Schmo on Twitter saying that, so you really don't care, but it's like part of what you're dealing with.
Right. So you go in, you have Hard Knocks. It's a fucking train wreck as far as the overall experience.
Sure.
The season starts. I mean, there's a lot of similarities to your first year at Cal.
The season starts and the cameras don't leave. Hard Knocks is for training camp. The same camera crew stayed for the whole season for the Amazon series All or Nothing.
Wait. So you went from
I stepped off the
one
plane.
season.
I stepped off the plane and finished my rookie year with a camera the whole time.
That's crazy.
Nuts.
That's really fucking crazy, and it's really taxing.
Oh, it's nuts.
As human beings, like you're not.
And we were bad.
Yeah.
And it wasn't
you're
like
struggling.
we didn't have
it's
a
not
good
fun.
year.
You're not having a good time.
It's not like we're showing off for people. It's like, this is hard.
It's the opposite.
Yeah.
Wow. Are you thankful for it?
Absolutely.
Or do you look back and you're like, I wish that wasn't the case?
No, I'm glad I experienced it. Like it was, it goes into like,
skin,
it goes into like that, like how bad can it get? And you can still come back from that. Like that's as bad as it can get.
But that year was bad. What was the record that year?
We were 4-12. I played the last 7 games and lost all of them. So about as bad as it can get.
Right.
But, and it's all on camera. Like the behind the scenes is all on camera. So again, I'm glad I went through it. I'm glad the Hard Knocks process, I'm glad I went through that. I'm glad I experienced it. It made me better. It made me a better person. It made me understand how to handle myself in different situations. I'm glad I went through it, but I wouldn't wish it upon anybody.
Yeah.
Like, it was not fun.
Probably thicker skin than you would have had.
Absolutely. No doubt. No, it's, and I credit that and losing certain games in high school, losing certain games in middle school, throwing picks, like different things to getting to the point where you are now.
Exactly. That's kind of what I try to preach in a sense, almost to myself when I'm like talking online. I'm trying to like, put that energy because it's really what I'm trying to represent. But like, if you can understand that, like, like even as weird as like your helmet not working, just these random things, like if you can understand that everything's kind of, even if it's really horseshit in the moment, even if it's really unfortunate, you're like, I'm getting trolled. Like, what the fuck, you know? Because you got trolled your rookie year. That's like a troll. Like, you got fucking filmed the entire time and it was bad, you know?
Yeah. Not on purpose, but yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is like, my point to people, a lot of messages and DMs and, fan mail, like, oh, my mom died, or these, my girlfriend left and I lost my job, whatever. Like they're looking for something, how to get started again. And one of the bigger notions is like, if you could buy into the concept that you can't resist against the moment no matter
Absolutely.
what. It's serving you in a bigger purpose,
Yep.
and it might not reveal itself for 10 years.
Absolutely.
The girl of your dreams right now, it might go on to the freedom that you have because you lost her. You go on and have this crazy experience. You land here 10 years. None of those things matter anymore,
Sure.
you know?
No, absolutely.
But you also wouldn't be the person you are if you didn't have that experience.
That's,
you know,
100% on the same page.
And
like it's like everything happens for a reason is in layman's terms, but it's like so.
It sounds cliche, but it's just not.
It's so true. Like you go through that, and then you look back, and you're like, "Huh, that's why I know not to do this," or like,
right.
And it's in its most basic form, but
Right.
there's so much complexity to it and different things.
So that year, we don't talk too much football. Obviously, you had a coaching change that was monumental, and the turnaround, and your whole vibe. And tell me about that. I mean, I know Fisher wasn't a great fit overall for everything.
Yeah, I love Jeff. I loved everything he did. It just didn't work out. He was great to me. Didn't work out.
Right.
I'm obviously thrilled with Sean and everything he's done. He's been amazing, and
we got to talk about this guy a little bit. I'm a little fascinated by him.
He's amazing, and he's very much so on this same thing that we're talking about, where like, you know, there's a reason that stuff happens. Like you learn from your mistakes.
Yes,
and like
I wanted to get.
Yeah, we'll get into it
Go
with
ahead.
like the Joe Rogan stuff we were talking about earlier, with like some of the stuff he talks about. You see it on like these cheesy Instagram motivational accounts, but it's like real, true. It's like, you know, some of the stuff he says is like, like people fail, like you're made to fail, like you fail 100 times and then you win once, and everyone only knows you for that win.
I said this in another podcast, but I'm going to say it
and you're
again.
like, I lost 100 times before this. Like, I know you all know me for this, but you guys didn't even see what all the stuff we went through.
Facts.
Like,
Facts.
It's great.
And it's universal because, and it's
it
timeless.
applies to everything.
It's timeless because I have this quote, like Thomas Edison, what's he know? He's invented electricity, right?
Yep.
He's changed the world forever. He said, the only difference between me and everyone else is I just never stopped.
Yep.
He said he failed almost 15,000 times.
Sure.
15,000.
That's insane.
So he's like, you know, he said there were
But no one ever heard about those 15,000.
Exactly.
They know about the light bulb.
He said there were a bunch of other
electricity,
people probably more qualified or even closer than he was, but they stopped at failure 500, failure 5,000, failure 10,000 even.
Yep.
You know? So it's really like, it's been like an awakening for me because I kind of dove more into this shit. I went through like a personal hardship, going through a tough breakup, and like having this like feeling of like, all right, what am I, like what makes me fucking tick? You know, like from the baseball thing, real weird story. You know, I just like, I couldn't have been any more of a regular jock. Go on to be a musician. Automatically, it's a business. Automatically, it starts to work. Automatically, we're touring.
Yep.
So it's just like this swing from this to that. Never really had a second to like
what's going on?
Sit back and think, and then be like, even just sit back and like learn about myself. I was always just, what's the next city? What's the next place? Who's the next girl? What's the next song? Where are we going? Where are we drinking? You know, like it was that for so long. And then I had a girlfriend for a long time. I went from never having a girlfriend.
Yep.
Like I was just kind of your normal jock, kind of not even a womanizer at all. Just like I wasn't ever really even trying to get into a dedicated, like committed relationship. Go from that to something polar opposite. So on the outside so when that fails, I come out of it and I'm like, I got this big ass house and all these things. I'm supposed to be, how could I not be happy? Like, and I had these weird unfulfilled feelings and emotions. And I'm like, what? I really got to like figure out what the fuck makes me tick. What makes me excited? Why did I make it here? Like slowed down and kind of kind of just rehashed on everything that just happened the last like 6 years.
Sure.
It was all just a
crazy.
crazy change.
6 years is a long time.
It really was. Yeah. It really was. And it was getting back, like we talked about Joe Rogan. We could talk about, I fucking love you, Joe, for watching.
I said the Mike Stud podcast is number 1. Joe Rogan is my number 2.
Good answer.
Getting on to, and that's like,
I'd love to,
like that would be like, I'm done. Like if I would ever be a guest on that, that'd be amazing.
I seriously feel the same.
Yeah.
We have Joe Rogan going on in this house on a TV, one of the TVs.
Same.
More or less.
We do it quite often.
Throughout the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the fucking best thing ever. And like we're talking, like celebrities, I don't give a fuck. Like I just don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're good at football, great.
Yeah.
You know, this guy's a great singer, cool. You know, but it's like that motherfucker is more or less outside of my dad, like somebody I want to be like,
a role model,
as far as just like his perspective.
Yep.
And I just I find myself agreeing with like 95% of the fucking things he's talking about. Plus, it really did inspire me to get more into this because I love having these dialogues.
Yep.
We'd have these dialogues that should be podcasts at the house. We have all these friends who are people want to hear their insight and how you guys operate. So it makes sense. But I actually am really close with Brendan Schaub.
Oh yeah,
Brendan?
Of course, yep.
And he's very close with Joe. So maybe I could. You're at the caliber. Like I wouldn't even ask them to get me. Maybe one day.
I don't want to do it yet though. Even if I had the chance, like I gotta build up some more. I gotta build up some more knowledge and like come in there actually prepared with something and and be able to have a little bit more insight on stuff.
I just think like that's what he would drive.
No,
like,
I would love it.
He would steer your like you are who you are. You don't need to come in with any type of fucking. You're a fucking rock star athlete. Like the guys who come on with specialty. He has a lot of specialty guests with their specialty knowledge.
Yep.
You know, that's one thing. But he has like the fighters or the big athletes or even musicians. He just wants their story.
Yep.
You know, we'll get you on there.
Yeah. I'm not that big of a fan, Joe, so don't be scared. But like, I'd love to come on.
So you're 24 now?
24, yeah.
And we just talked about it. Just got a new lady.
Yeah.
How long now?
A few months. Well, I mean, we've been dating for longer than that, but officially a few months.
So when we say officially, is it? We talked about the Instagram post makes it official. When did that happen?
Was recently. That was for her birthday. Yeah,
okay.
That was
special day, special shout out.
Yes, absolutely.
And it makes her feel special.
Absolutely. Yep. You always
so
want
is
to
she
do that.
From California?
Yep. She's
both
from
Cali.
Valencia. Yep.
And a model.
Yes. Yeah. She works as a model.
Of course. I'll give you some insight. I dated a model, obviously.
Yeah. What do I need to know?
I'll give you some real fucking insight. You guys ready for this? They got a lot of fucking free time. Like an absurd amount of free time. Because if you really think about it, at least in my dealings, I'm also dealing, is she younger or older? Like what's her?
She's 26.
Okay, so she's a little bit on, not even old, she's going to hear this, not in the older side at all. I was in the 20, 21-year-old, 22-year-old model.
Absolutely,
so they're still a little more on that, like, it's young. They're young. You're fucking running around, you know? But I'm talking about the actual logistics of a model's career. If you think about it, right? You got to go, Steve's trying to get in. Fuck that guy. You got to go in every fucking day outside of the off season. You got to go in every day, whether it's watching film, ice, whatever. You got your daily agenda, right?
Yep.
The routine, the maintenance that it takes. Like for me, studios, sometimes I come in here 10, 12 hours.
Sure.
Before, I have a 3-minute idea that works, So.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, my process has changed a bunch, but like what I'm saying is I could be in here 10 hours. I could be either working on a melody or I could run through 5 ideas, but before there's one I really love or there's something that's really, I feel like there's a real moment here we can build around. The hours,
really?
There's no time. Like this is like a time portal, this room.
You come in here any time of the night.
Anytime of the day, if I have an idea, 3, 4 a.m. Like last night, me and Blue were making ideas like 4 or 5 in the morning.
Really?
But it's just, that's the beauty of having a home studio.
I love it, yeah.
But back to what I was saying, models, I mean, they'll make big amounts of cash, these girls, in a span of like 5, 6 work days in a month.
Sure, yeah.
Like they'll go shoot a campaign. They might have 1 gig a week, maybe.
Yep. No, she works quite a bit right now. But
so she's daily.
But she's had periods where it's one or 2 days a week. But she's working quite a bit right now. She's actually been working a lot.
So that's amazing. Yeah. That's amazing.
She's been busy.
And she's popping, doing amazing. I think it's more so like finding the caliber of jobs that are going to pay her what her fee is, and have it make sense. It needs to be a certain level, whatever. It obviously changes and varies, right? Sure. But a lot of fucking free time. Are you having a different experience?
She during when I was and you know how it's like in waves. Like whatever for whatever reason they get more jobs or less jobs. I knew nothing about this at all until I met her. But when I was in the season, she had less jobs, and now she's working almost every day, and it's just like this. But she's doing great.
Yeah, that was a huge thing for us because it was like, I really have to like put the time in. I got to go to these studios, meet with these producers. Like, there's just a lot of little things, especially being independent. I'm like running the business. You know what I mean? I'm talking to the lawyers. We're doing the merchandise and all this shit. And it was just like, there was a dichotomy in like the amount of attention and thing. She's young. We would just want to go do shit and like life's a field trip every day. But I really had to like come in and put work in and put hours. It became a not even an issue. It wasn't what was the biggest issue. It was just an underlying issue of like, because I'm in here working, but like I told her I would go to dinner with her, but I'm still in the middle of this idea, and it's just kind of how it was. I mean, your shit's more of a scheduled.
I have a pretty rigid schedule.
You must have a crazy schedule.
Yeah, so it makes that a little bit easier. But yeah,
right.
I pretty much know, hey, I'm working out today, or during the season, hey, this is the schedule. Like,
right. And the difference, like, you don't have a fucking choice.
Sure.
You're in there, there's a schedule, like an actual rigid schedule where like, I'm just like, I'm in here making music. Like I could easily just go across the way to the room, go with her, hang out, watch a movie and fucking go out,
Yeah.
I'm not tied. You can't go out and about all the time mid-season. It is more rigid. So you probably deal with less of it. But I had a personal, like, kind of feel like I'm getting dragged this way and this way because I know I'm in the middle of something, or I should go link up with so-and-so in the studio, but supposed to be, like it's a really delegation of time. It became an issue within it. So good luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Is she local LA?
Yeah, she lives in Santa Monica.
And you live
Calabasas.
Hidden Hills, baby.
Yep.
Hidden Hills. All right. How long have you been there?
About a little over a year now. About 14
You're
months.
fucking rich already.
No.
You are.
No.
This is like shit that
this house is freaking nice, man. What are you talking about?
Yeah, no, we do good. People come here and they get surprised because like
it's cool. Too.
I'm in
it's
no way like
very
mainstream.
Modern.
Yeah, it's a super modern house. I'm in no way mainstream at all, really. So
I didn't know any better in 2013 though. I was like, this guy's as mainstream as it gets.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of consumers of music have no fucking idea.
Yeah,
it's just like you listen or you don't. You know.
Yeah.
But the way we did it's pretty rare. So people come here, especially in LA, and they come over and they're like, "The fuck," like they just didn't.
This exists in like I would say a family neighborhood. Like there's
kinda
there's gotta be like somewhat.
Oh yeah, luckily across the street is an apartment.
Okay.
So like it's not so bad, and we're closest to like a pretty, like if you go back 5 blocks that way, like, dude, you get your a pin drop.
Really?
Like we'd already be gone. Like you were talking about, I was trying to make a joke, but we were in the middle of something. What you were dealing with at your house at Cal, we're dealing with it here.
Oh, really?
Like it's never left us. Everywhere we go. I mean, we're assholes.
Yeah.
We're actually super nice to the neighbors, but like, last night's a perfect example. I'm working all day, and then people hit me up. They come over, like, it goes from 0 people, 0 party to 30 people at 3 a.m, and it just becomes. It's just. I want to say I've already been cited once and fined like a couple $1,000.
Yeah.
And I think we're one strike away from just
eviction.
Me going to the big house.
See ya.
I've gone out there and had the most hilarious, fucking belligerent conversations with the cops.
Where you're just trying to say stuff.
But I guess I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
I don't really recall a lot of them.
Yeah.
But I got a pretty good rapport with the local cops.
There you go.
They know what's going on.
Good.
And they know we're not trying to fucking be disrespectful.
Yeah.
I really pin it more like this because this is the case. These big boys are fucking loud.
I believe it. Yeah.
So a lot of times they're like the neighbors on this side. They're just hearing like some bass and shit,
course,
but like they're considering it a party.
Yep.
I'm in here working. You
Yep.
know, it's like just me. So sometimes the cops will come,
Yep.
and I kind of make them feel not them feel stupid, but I'm almost challenging them to think about it. I'm like, dude, you're here. You pull up. You don't hear anything. Do you hear any loud music? So I kind of make them question it as well. Like that's how I've been able to find a middle ground. I'm like, right.
You've been doing this for a long time.
I've been doing this.
They don't know. They don't know.
I have so much savvy in this department. And back to college, like it hasn't changed. Yeah. So we're doing all right. We're staying afloat, but it's like we're flying. Like anything, one night could change everything. So we'll see. I'll keep
one night could change everything.
I'll keep you tuned in. Yeah, that sounds like a song too.
Yeah, there you go.
So here we are now, right? Last year, obviously, a fucking incredible year, not the kind of finish you wanted.
Yep.
What I want to dive in. So again, it's one of those pace thing.
Sure.
I'm gonna reference that
Absolutely.
going forward forever.
Yeah, you can have it.
I'll steal it. This is another pace thing because you're flying sky high.
Yep.
You're doing everything you dreamed of. And then now your expectations have now risen to the same occasion. Now, even just getting in the Super Bowl you lose that fucking Super Bowl. What does it feel like? You talk about being extremely even keel and caring.
Yeah.
What was your care like? What happened? So after that game ends, right? Yeah. You have the press conference. And
Yep.
Walk me through not only the next few weeks, but just do you remember? Can you put yourself back in that headspace?
Well, yeah, you get a chance to practice what you preach essentially, and if that's who I am, then show it. And we didn't play well. I didn't play well. We didn't win the game. They beat us. Like at the end of the day, there was points in the game where it could have gone either way. There's no moral victories. Like that doesn't mean anything. We didn't get it done, and everyone has those moments where they don't get it done, and that was us in that game. That was me, and we took a lot of the onus on ourselves and understand that it just didn't go our way and we didn't do what we need to do to win that game. And I think when you come to that realization and be honest about it, it's the easiest way to do it. When you're hiding behind it and you're giving cryptic messages to the media about different things that could have happened, it's like, no, we didn't play well.
Right.
We didn't play well on offense. We played well on defense. We did play well on defense. Didn't play well on offense. I didn't play well. We didn't do anything. Like,
I mean, you just
point blank in a story. We didn't play well. We didn't win the game. Move on the best you can and try to get back there again this year.
Right.
That's all you
Your whole mental thing is based on a level of just pure honesty with yourself.
100%.
And inward and outward. It feels like.
Yeah, and sometimes the media is like taken aback by it, but it's like, no, like
they want something more.
They want me to say something that's headline catching, and I'm telling you exactly. You watched the game.
Right.
You guys saw what happened. Mm-hmm. That's what happened. I'm going to try to get better. I'm going to try to be better. And we're going to try to win a lot of games this year and try to get back. We know it's not easy, but that's all we can do. And of course, you go to the Super Bowl and you want to win and you get there and you're like, all right, this is your moment and you want to do it. But you can't let it define you. You can't let it be the reason that makes you go one way or the other. It's just got to, it was one game and fortunately we didn't get it done and hopefully we get another chance at it. And that's the only way you can look at it.
It's honestly... You could tell it's authentic though. It's the way it's why it's working for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like a blatant honesty. I think a lot of people's ego get in the way of being honest with themselves.
Absolutely. And talking about Sean, like we talked about earlier, it starts with him. I mean, the way he's able to do kind of what I just spoke about, but he does it at the highest level. So
he's the fucking man.
He's awesome. And him doing that at the highest level allows me to be that way. Like very easily. If he's doing it, I can be that way, and then it trickles down from there. So does he? And our leaders can be that way, and it trickles down. It starts at the top.
Right. His coaching style does he motherfuck you guys, or is he?
If he has to, but usually doesn't.
But
have
it's
to.
never extra.
It's very no. It's very back and forth. People ask me what's his best trait, and I say he's the best listener I've ever met.
Wow.
Listener and communication. And
you don't hear that about head coaches. You just don't.
It's amazing. And he's obviously so smart and he knows football and he's a great play caller and all that is just innate in him. But the way he listens and the way he takes input from everyone and takes it and either uses it or takes it and explains to you why I don't agree with that. And it's just an open dialogue and communication and it leaves no room for doubt. And you just don't have any of that, like, what he says a lot is like where communication lacks, negativity fills. So just keep an open dialogue and you'll always know what each other are thinking. And that's kind of what he preaches. And he's just a great listener and it trickles down through the whole organization.
This was his second year?
Second year. Yep.
What the fuck is it? What is it about it? What the fuck does he know that people don't know?
He's just...
I mean, you're not going to give the details. I'm saying like...
Yeah, of course.
What is it? Just an understanding of...
I think a part of it is how smart he is. It's like innate. It's just he has a gift.
Yeah.
He's just got it. He's a good play caller.
Was he a player?
Yeah, he played through high school and then he played at Miami, Ohio. And then he went straight to Tampa with John Gruden, learned under him, and then went through there. He went some other places and then ended up with the Redskins and then came to us. And just like, he's smart. Well, I think what really set him apart early on, and again, I don't think he was trying to do this, and is that he didn't care what anyone else thought. It was like, we're doing this way. I don't care if it's not normal, typical. I don't care if everyone else isn't doing it. This is going to work for us. I believe this is going to work. We're going to do it this way. And I think that's kind of like another thing that kind of sets him apart. And a lot of coaches are starting to lean that way where, I mean, arguably the best to ever do it, Belichick, he don't care what anyone thinks. Mm-hmm. He does it his way. Mm-hmm. Sean's, doing it his way as well. And I think that's kind of, for a player, you can't ask for more.
And he's so young.
Yep.
So I'll be curious to see what happens over the span of his career.
I've thought about that, yeah, too. I mean, for both of us, it's going to be,
hopefully you guys are just fucking together. Yeah,
that's the plan.
Because that's really what happens. You see it with these, you see it with Breeze or Brady and Belichick and fucking Peyton.
Yeah, they're great.
They have like it almost feels like it's like this.
Telepathy.
Telepathy is the right word. Yeah, just this understanding of each other and what's next.
Yep.
Crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you already feeling that with him a little bit?
Yeah, bits and pieces. Bits and pieces. So this is our third year together, and like from where we started to where we are now, it's like exponentially.
Yeah.
To where we want to be, I think he would say the same. We're not nearly there yet, but it's very much like I kind of am starting to get more of an idea of what's the play call going to be, what's he thinking here, where does he kind of want the ball to go to here, and just again being able to have that open dialogue with him is so important for coach and head coach relationship.
Was it
I'm sorry, quarterback and head coach relationship.
Yeah. Was there any kind of weirdness because of the age?
Never.
Ever.
It's so funny. You ask anyone, especially if you ask like the older guys that are older than him. We have a lot of guys that are older than him.
Yeah.
And just the way he talks and the way he carries himself, you're like, oh, like you forget how old
he
is.
It
just goes out. Like you don't even care because
really doesn't.
He's in charge. He knows what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
These guys have respect for him.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the respect of the locker room, obviously. And when you get respect of like the veterans and the leaders of the team, you get everyone. And that's what he's done. He's done a great job.
I'm gonna take a pee break and a chug break. But I'll be back. We'll be back.
We'll be right back with You Never Know, You Know What I Mean, right after this urination break.
Fucking Bortles is your backup.
Yeah,
guy's kind of a living
he's a legend,
a living legend in some ways.
Yeah, he's the only free agent signing. Well, not the only. He's the one free agent signing we've made that my friends have been like more fired up about than anything. Like we signed Brandon Cooks and they don't really care, and we signed Blake Bortles. And they're like, oh, we're hanging out with that guy.
I love that you got your daughters. You guys known each other for how long?
Since high school.
Yep. Still rocking and rolling.
Yep.
I'm the same way.
Yeah,
it's a good way to be.
It's awesome.
Your family now? You're from NorCal originally.
Yep.
Have they moved down?
No, they're still in the Bay.
Yep. Are they going to?
No, no plans of it.
No.
Yeah, no plans of it. I mean, they may eventually.
We'll watch on TV.
Yeah, no plans of it, but they may.
Yeah.
No, it's.
What's their vibe? Are they just so fucking happy and proud and shit?
Oh yeah, they love it. They come down to all the home games and probably make a couple away games a year. And
yeah.
They love it and have a good time and.
It seems like you got a family similar to mine. Just really fucking like Joe Rogan talks about it. Many people talk about it, but the benefit, like people talk about various privileges.
Sure.
We have so many privileges just being fucking human. One being in America. Two,
yep.
But to have real motherfucking parents that can like really guide you, like you talked about, it was the first thing you said. How they instilled kind of this mind frame or this headspace that you really haven't left. It's evolved.
Yep.
But they really kind of started. And I'm the same way.
Yep.
It's like it's one of those things where as you get older, I mean, you get into as you grow up a bit, like you're still fucking.
Yeah, I still don't know what I don't know like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, totally.
But like and I do too, but like you start to realize like, holy shit, like thank God I had fucking these people.
Absolutely.
Like it's an insane thing.
Yep.
Do you want to have kids?
Oh yeah, of course.
You want to have like the full family, regular shit.
You hope.
Yeah.
You never know.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Are you How
did that start, by the way?
You never know?
Yeah.
I wish I had a more meaningful reasoning for it, but it's really how our whole life has worked. So it first started me and Blue, like we'd smoke, get high, and we talked in this voice. We're like, hey, yeah, hey, Steve. Like that's how Steve started too. Like we had this thing where we were just like had this high voice, and we'd be like Snapchatting, and the fans would catch on to it.
Yeah.
And it was one of those slogans, which was like, hey, you just never know. And it went with this. Me and Blue did it even before it was even a thing, you know. And I started to say it a little bit like, you know, on Instagram or on Snapchat, and the fans, I started to see that they were really like catching on to it. And then, you know, I think this is I've learned this so much in life. Like, if you let things flow to you and you let ideas flow to you, and you're not sitting there forcing yourself to like come up with branding or come up with anything, really, it goes for anything. I was really subconsciously good at like letting things and ideas flow to me, and like we didn't overthink or try hard on anything.
Yeah, that's good.
And you never know, it's been something that's like
that's good,
huge, massive for us.
And it's very broad.
I started to realize very quickly that like, wait, one, I live by this. Like you really, you know, in the most broad way, like you just don't. You can get it. I can get in my car and get ran over, and everything, all these plans for next week, and I'm worried about this. It ends. It can end in a fucking blink of an eye, you know? So it really became something that like we championed very quickly, but it started as just like some fuck shit, just nothing, you know? And it really was nothing more than that, but it's really become like something I live by.
Sure.
And then the next thing is keep going, which I have tattooed too. It's just like, that's going to be the next album name.
Nice.
And it's, which is going to be fire. We've been working on it for a while. So it is, you know, keep going. Another thing, and these ideas just kind of, just let them flow. I don't try to, I don't know. I just feel like, ring the bell, 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. This book, are you a reader?
Not really. But it'll help me, I'll read it.
Get this guy fucking 7 Spiritual Laws of Success and just read it. You already have so much of it, but there's laws, and one of them is the law of least effort. And it's this dude, Deepak Chopra, wrote it. Deepak, I know you're listening. I've given him a shout out on everyone. So, but it's the law of least effort, and it's just like understanding if you're at peace and in flow with the universe, and your intentions are good, and you have all the right. You wake up with this goal, and all your intentions and all your actions align. You know, the universe will flow the right things to you.
Yeah,
you just have to
reward you.
You just have to have the awareness to capitalize.
Sure.
But all the opportunities are there, even hidden.
I believe that.
Even hidden in problems. You know, there's so much opportunity seed in problems and hardships.
Yep. Totally.
So yeah, read that. You'll just be like, I fuck with all this. It just articulates it in a way that really like helped me when I told you I was kind of going through a phase where I needed to kind of go inward. It was huge for me.
Yeah. Good.
I feel like you're in flow with a lot of that shit already. I wanted to get into a little of you personally. Like, what the fuck gets your rocks off? Fuck football and your girl and your family. Like, what moves you? What's like your version of fun? You know, obviously you have a very rigid schedule, so fun is gonna be, you know, kick back with the friends and family and connecting. Any passions, other side things you're interested in?
I mean, I've been playing a lot of golf lately, and that's like kind of another like way of competing that isn't so, you know, getting chased by big dudes and getting hit. So it's like kind of, but I'm not good at golf, but it's fun. I enjoy it.
It's also like something mentally peaceful. It's like,
and it's like a challenge. It's like I get to go out there every day and like be challenged.
So you're not going out there for like for like a little bit of like to turn your mind off. You're going out there to fucking compete.
Because
you were saying
but it's nice being outside.
You're motherfucking. You're like not as even keeled.
Oh, not golf. Even close. Not even close. Like club throw type of stuff. Like just not.
I can't even picture him doing that.
No, it's not good. And you're just like, you know, motherfucking yourself.
TMZ's gonna be out there.
Yeah.
He looks erratic. He looks erratic, guys.
I will look very erratic if they catch me out there. No, but it's. I mean, I like to play golf. I play a lot of Fortnite with my friends. That's like kind of like every like so often, usually a video game. Like in college, it was FIFA, and now it's like Fortnite for me. Where like if I need to like turn my brain off, I'm gonna play 2 hours of Fortnite and like just relax. Some people watch movies, some people read, some people. Yeah. It's like literally just like get on there with my homies and mess around for an hour or two and like turn your brain off, like recharge kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really all I do right now.
Yeah.
Work out, play Fortnite, and golf.
I asked you that though, really, because
I really don't do much.
Because I live that life though.
Yeah.
I live that life, and I know that's why I asked. It's interesting to see my athlete friends kind of arrive at this. I don't feel like you have yet, but you'll kind of arrive at a time where, like, I think the guys have been in it a little longer than you, a little older. You know, you just want to fucking relax when you can with your friends, and you know. But it's this interesting thing where you realize, like, okay, like there's more to life. It doesn't feel like it right now.
Yeah.
But there's just like there's just more to explore. There's more, and you guys are gonna have all the resources to go explore the world forever after.
Yeah.
But it's
like I haven't really had the urge to travel yet.
Yeah.
Like that hasn't
That will
been
come.
like Like I'm like I don't really want to get on an airplane for 10 hours right now.
Yeah.
But I'm expecting to do that at some point.
it comes with time.
Yeah.
But it's also like, you know, you listen to Joe Rogan all the time. That motherfucker, that's kind of what's almost most interesting / inspiring is just the thirst for further knowledge and like further just expansion of your own self.
Yep.
Which seems like he's probably pioneering. And it's something that like I see with Marcus Stroman a lot. Is he's, you know, as much as he's so passionately trying to succeed and will succeed at the highest level in baseball, he's kind of already getting the itch to like diversify.
See what else is out there. Absolutely.
Diversify,
yeah, sure.
you know?
Sure. Yeah.
And I think it comes, he's a bit older, and I think it comes with that. But when you do, like it's an interesting thing because outside of winning that, you know, say you won that Super Bowl, right? What the fuck else is there besides winning another Super Bowl? What the fuck
that I want to do? Yeah, right now nothing.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
so at some point you're just gonna be like, because it's kind of was part of what was weird for me. Is just like, what now?
Yeah, sure.
Like I don't want to really care about being famous. I don't.
Yeah.
Personally, you know. So you know, the real thing for me was like success and being able. Yes, I want to make a lot more money. And
sure.
I really want to be able to take care of my family and friends forever. So that's the biggest driving goal.
Yep.
I want to be able to go wherever the fuck I want to go and do whatever I want to do. The freedom that money gives you is what attracts me to the hunger of it. Plus the passion for making the art, whatever. But really that's where my passion lies the most for the money, you know?
Yep.
But it's really like I'm definitely have like a growing thirst for like diversifying and learning more about even what makes me tick. That's why I always ask that question, like what gets you rocks, like what makes you excited?
Sure.
Do you think about like fucking aliens in the
Absolutely.
world and artificial intelligence?
That was when you were talking about Joe Rogan. I was thinking about the Alex Jones one. I don't know if
crazy.
you listened to
I
that.
saw it. Yeah.
It was like 4 hours long.
Yeah.
And I listened to it in like 4 different like drives.
You watched the Elon Musk one?
No.
Oh my god.
No.
Go watch it. Like for the first 5 minutes, I was like, I don't even know this guy's an alien. Like I can't even watch this. He just talks so weird. And then by the end of it, I was fascinated and in love with him.
It's amazing. Yeah. I mean, just the stuff that they talked about in that podcast is like so far beyond anything I can comprehend. But then you get like kind of that thirst for knowledge and wanting to know more and like, this is interesting. And Alex Jones is like out of his mind, but you're like, does he actually know what he's talking about? Like, it's just so crazy.
There's a certain like open-mindedness.
Yes, totally.
You know, because I don't really have the urge to like know the deep depths of these things.
Sure.
And devote so much time to the point where it's like a rabbit hole and like maybe draining of my own personal energy.
Yep.
Just like having the broad, vast understanding, like, and just maybe like when I go to bed, like I can put my head down at night and just realize like nobody really knows.
Sure. And it's almost like
cool to have an understanding of the concepts and theories. And,
sure.
But we don't know, so I just can't. I used to not believe in any of that shit. Now I'm just so open-minded to the possibilities.
It's also like not being in the dark about anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't want to like be in a conversation that you have no idea what they're talking
Especially
about.
in the public limelight.
Yeah,
too,
and it's like you don't want. It's like at least okay. I heard something about aliens, or I know something about that, and you can kind of like keep accumulating a little bit of knowledge here and there.
Mm-hmm. I like it. So, do you think they're aliens?
Yes,
I do too.
100%. I think, and a lot of my information is from Joe Rogan and Alex Jones.
Me too.
I would.
We study the same textbook.
Yeah, like the fact, like I believe that there's like some sort of like Mike Stud in a different universe. Like, obviously not you or the same name or anything, but like,
right.
There's another world out there where like,
It's
I don't know,
it's
like
so strange.
And like, you think like, how is that even possible? And I think that there is. I mean, I just have a hard time believing that the universe is this big and we're the only people doing anything that's like at a high learning level.
Me too.
Like, that's just hard to believe for me.
Did you see? There's another one you should watch. Naval. Have you seen Naval? I forget. It's hard to pronounce his last name. This dude Naval. I think he should run for president. Yeah, it's fairly recent. Like I'd say 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
3 weeks ago. Watch that one too.
I think I heard about that one. I think somebody else told
really
me
fucking good.
Yeah.
But the idea that artificial intelligence is like upon us is like potentially Elon Musk was saying in a nutshell that we might be like this generation might be the last like pure thoroughbred human. Really? We're gonna merge with like. So think about it, right?
Of course.
Think about this. We carry this around in our pocket.
Yep.
How is it any different just to put this chip in our fucking head? To insert it, meaning obviously the logistics of it. No, but I'm saying the logistics of it, the capabilities are there, right? The artificial intelligence already exists. Every single person in the world who has a smartphone in their pocket knows everything.
Yep.
More or less.
Sure.
Give them 5-10 minutes.
Yep.
They can go to the they can fucking learn, have some kind of understanding, or just know the answer. If it's a yes/no question.
Yep.
Hey, who is the president this year? Okay, I know it.
Yep.
What I'm saying is the biggest point this guy's making. Well, Elon was just saying like they're already doing it.
Sure.
But it's just it's already in the works. Yeah. But it's essentially going to be like some of the you watch Black Mirror.
That's what I was just gonna say. I was just gonna say that like having that technology within is I can't comprehend it, but you're telling me that it's near.
It's near. It's upon us. Like I just think about my fucking niece who's like 7.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is she gonna like when she's like 4, like, you know, like what happens to the world? They're already doing genetic modifying to the point where like, oh, I just want a fucking 15-inch cock and I could fucking do it. You know what I mean? Or like we all could. It'll be to the point where like guys are so obnoxious to have like cocks that go over their shoulders like a garment. But yeah, no, motherfuckers are genetically modifying shit already, bro. Like you pick, oh, I want my kid to be IQ, height, athleticism. So what happens when all these things that are novelties, like a Jared Goff, who's just, you know, built to be a quarterback and goes on and does it? What happens when that's all, it's no longer like by like God's gift that, oh, he's gifted. It's no longer that.
It's manufactured.
So what happens to society when that's no longer?
I would like to think we're a long ways off from that, though. But from what
maybe
you're
it might not be in our lifetime. Go watch Elon Musk shit. And
then I'll get worried.
Because I'm not fucking able to articulate it.
I would like to think it's not in my lifetime.
I don't think it is. It could.
But what would happen if it was? Yeah, I don't know. It would be.
Can you imagine what it would do to our society, though?
I mean, Instagram and all that is already doing part of that, of like creating these fake lifestyles and fake looks. And I was just with him the other day doing the Facetune thing. I had never seen it until about a week ago. You seen the Facetune?
I've heard. Yeah, my girl told me about it. It's like basically like
it's insane.
You can change everything about your picture. It's
insane. I just like took a picture of him. This is a week ago, and it's got like eyebrows, and you like hit it's like a slide panel, and you slide it, and you know your eyebrows go up, and it's like cheeks, and it's cheeks.
Holy
it like
shit.
Scans your face and like picks all the spots.
All these motherfuckers are doing this.
Nuts.
All these bitches.
Well, yeah, of course, all the girls do it, but like to think that.
Do guys do it? I'm sure there are. Yeah,
I'm sure.
I mean,
I just found out about it a week ago, and I'm
like fucking.
I'm so far behind. I need to start.
Let's get this
what
thing
am
rolling.
I doing?
Let's get this thing rolling.
Yeah.
I saw online and I was looking. We were trying to dig and find some funny shit. You got a ton of Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
Fucking run with it.
Yeah. The best thing that ever happened to me was La La Land about 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It was like
I see it. As soon as I read it, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah. Like I've got that for, probably 5 years or so.
And you just moved on from it.
No, I run with it.
I'm Jared Goff now, bitch.
People say, I've been like, people have walked up and been like, oh, hi Ryan. And I'm like, hi, like,
how are you?
Yeah.
Hey, can you sing us a number from La La Land?
Yeah, right.
Voice hurts.
Yeah, no, but I've actually never met him, but I've gotten that a lot.
Speaking of celebrities, what's your any celebrity that you just need to meet immediately outside of Joe and Mike instead?
Yeah. Fuck. See, it's funny because you like if I gotta say something that somebody that I actually won't run into.
You don't want to deal with that embarrassment.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like
You just gotta lean into it. You know, be like, dude, I fucking love you.
I'm trying to think if I'm like.
I mean, it's okay if you don't.
No,
I don't really have.
I for sure have any like a Jay-Z would be like somebody for sure.
Try walking out of the park with a fucking cock in your hand, maybe a little pee dribble on your jeans.
Like someone
with
like
fucking
that.
half a hot dog in my mouth.
Yeah.
The concessions.
I love it. That's amazing. No, but I've seen him at the games and like he's with he's Rock Nation obviously. So Todd, our running back's with Rock Nation. Todd knows him. But to me that's like somebody that's like so far so high up, like Eminem, like somebody like that would be like.
Is Eminem your guy? Rap
Oh yeah.
and rap.
Growing up, I mean, loved him. I mean guys like that, yeah, it's just like
Taylor Swift.
I love Taylor Swift. I've met Taylor Swift though. I love her music. I don't know her well enough to say I love her, but I
Walk
love
us
her
through
music.
the meeting.
It was at her show at the Rose Bowl. So my sister, my mom have birthdays around the same time. So for their birthday, I was able to make some things happen and get backstage to meet Taylor
When you
Swift
start
before the
getting that
game.
sauce, it's just like, wow.
Got to meet her, and you hear so much about these people who are famous and all that, and couldn't have been nicer. Didn't know me from Joe Schmo.
Love it.
Couldn't have been nicer to me. Couldn't have been nicer to my sister, my mom, my grandma. It was amazing.
You love to hear that.
She was great.
You'd love to hear that. I feel like she's got a slightly bad rap.
Yeah, she gets that bad reputation about stuff, but she was amazing to us, and
Great.
we could have been anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, she didn't know any.
I'm sure her agent was like, fucking quarterback
I
for the
don't-
Rams.
I don't-
want fucking sweet tickets. Let's do this.
And maybe there was, but then she was like, okay, whatever. Like, hi, nice to meet you.
Of course. To her, she doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but
Crazy.
she was cool. It was cool. Like Jennifer Aniston would be like that's like friends growing up.
Talking to a big Jennifer Aniston guy.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah, that'd be.
I think I'd give it all up for her right now at her age anyway. What is she like, 60?
Is she 50?
I still love her. I mean, the fucking 25-year-old Friends, Rachel from Friends.
Yeah.
Holy shnikes. Those little crop top vibes. Man, great little pair of hammers on her too. Sorry if she's listening. If she's listening, it doesn't even matter at this point. If she hears the fucking You Never Know podcast, I mean, I'm already rock star famous by then. It's fine. I've moved on. I think we covered most of what we wanted to talk about. I appreciate you.
Yeah,
I wanted to get in on your Pizza Hut deal.
Sure.
I need like free breadsticks or something for the
That
house.
just ended, but yes, it was.
It's
great.
over?
It's over.
Fuck.
It was great. I got a.
That was the main reason we got you over here.
They gave me a $500 gift card to Pizza Hut.
That was it?
Well, that was part of. I mean, that was just
part
like
of
a gift.
He's like, yeah, I signed on for the $500, man. I love Pizza Hut.
No, it was cool. They were a good partner.
Are you gonna get into that space pretty heavily? I mean, it's fucking money.
What brands?
Just like endorsements and
Yeah, well, I've got a handful.
What do you got going on?
I've got Red Bull, and I
Should have known.
I wear this hat though, like every day, just naturally. And I thought when I wore it, I'm like, they're gonna think I'm wearing it to get on like the camera. But, like, I wore it like I was wearing it today all day, and I just kept it on.
Yeah, whatever.
Thank you. I'm with Nike. I'm with
So they're
Red Bull.
breaking you off. All these motherfuckers are breaking you off bread. Just, I don't really know how sports endorsement goes, right?
Yeah.
You do a commercial or you?
It all depends. I've got
varies.
multi-year deals, and I've got 1-year deals, and I've got one-off deals with you post an Instagram and you get this, or you get money, or you get a product or whatever. And the big multi-year deals I have right now, and I apologize if I forget anybody, but it's Red Bull, it's Nike, it's Banana Republic, which is recent, and I believe Bose is going to be the fourth. BMW.
Great.
Um,
I'll take an X5 just to
yeah,
have.
I got you. What you need, I got you. But yeah, it's good. It's fun.
One other request. I need a Stevie Daniels audible. I saw the audibles. You guys, are you the one doing that?
That's Sean.
Sean.
I would say 90% of them are Sean. 10% of them come from us.
How much of it is just complete
It's so
bullshit?
fun though.
It's a lot of decoys going on.
Yeah, so it totally depends. Like we have obviously like just like it's very similar because I know enough about baseball to like an indicator sign.
Oh yeah.
Like this guy can do this forever.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as he hits his knee, it's on.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with a catcher when the runner's on second. Like they can do that forever. As soon as they put 4 down, it's on. It's similar. It's like that. You know, we have different words that we use. Most of the stuff you've heard though is probably something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we do use most of it. But
I heard the Halle Berry one. I'm a
Halle
huge
Berry's
Halle Berry
good.
fan.
That worked out well for us.
She tweeted about it or something, right?
She tweeted about it like
Were you single at the time?
No. But
if you were single,
I tweeted back to her.
If you were single, would you? Let's say a little birdie knows that she fucks with some younger white guys here and there. Say a little birdie knows that. Halle Berry would be the end all be all. I think I'd give it all up for.
Really?
Have you ever watched the show YouTube where like they eat wings? They eat
the
hot
wings thing. Yep, I've seen that.
Go watch that.
She on that?
I mean, it's tantalizing. I couldn't stop watching her.
I'll watch it.
I don't know how
I
somebody
tweeted back at her and it like blew up and I like,
yeah. So I mean, you had.
So that was Sean's.
I'm gonna get you in trouble.
That came straight from Sean.
Yeah, Sean's just giving you fucking layups all day.
Yeah, and I remember when we were putting it in, I'm like, God, I hope she hears this.
Yeah. Fuck. So if you were single, would you potentially electric slide in the DMs and try to make it dance?
I don't think so.
No.
I think I would love to.
You're not really a DM guy.
No, I never really have been. I would love to
personally connect.
Yeah.
Maybe get to eat some hot wings with her.
Nah, I will.
I love her.
A year ago, I would have loved to eat hot wings
not
with
anymore.
Halle
Not
Berry.
anymore.
Yeah, no, not anymore.
You're happy.
Yeah, thank you.
Really appreciate you, bro. I
Thank
love
you,
that.
man. No, this was fun.
And again,
we'll do it again.
I'm coming to the games.
A year from now, you need me on again. I'm doing it.
I'll have you on till you can't no more, Steve.
Love it.
I appreciate you, bro.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate you, boss.
Of course. Thank you.
You ready? Yeah.